Hey family, welcome back to yet another edition of the Automotive Varsity Solutions, and in this video we're going to be looking at finding ways of how to work on this laptop. This is an HP PROBOOK 440G2 generational laptop, and it's having a broken screen, a broken hinge or a screen, and as you can see, this is how it's appearing. And in this video, we're going to be focusing on disassembling this laptop and trying to see how we can replace this screen. And you see, it's scrambled a bit. It's a cracked up screen. But in this video, we're going to be looking at disassembling this laptop and reassembling it back, trying to fix all these problems in this video. Stay tuned with me. Let's move on. Automotive Varsity Solutions to Excellency. Let's dig in and see how we can work on this. Solutions to Excellency, Automotive Varsity. Precaution number one is to always shut down your laptop before you start on any disassembly process, so that you work when your laptop is already shut down. And precaution number two, you should always do the first things first. You should always first remove the battery, the power battery of the laptop, so that you work when the laptop doesn't have any electrical discharge in between. So let's start with precaution number two. Since we have already shut down our laptop and it's already off, let's go and do the precaution number two of first removing the battery before doing the disassembly exercise. There are two locks here to unlock and remove the battery. And they have arrows showing the opposite directions that we need to push them so that we unlock the battery. So we start by unlocking this and this, then the battery will be able to be flexible and be moved out gently. Then after removing the battery, we go to, there is this screw that we need to first remove as well. So we unscrew this. Once we are done unscrewing, we can then remove that cover of the... Then also there is another cover here which we should remove, just like this. So after removing that cover, we first then remove the RAM. Remove the RAM stick. This is the RAM stick, put it aside. Then also remove the hard drive. This is the hard drive. So in case you want to remove or just replace the RAM, this is what you do. You just remove the RAM and then replace, or if not, you can add double slots. They have two slots. You can add another RAM stick here and here to just boost up your laptop. So that's it. And in case you want to replace the hard drive, this is what you do. So let's first remove the hard drive. By unscrewing this. It has 4 screws that we need to first remove, or rather unscrew. So we are unscrewing the hard drive slot. So unscrew this. So once you are done, there is this arrow, you just lift it up, then push it the other side, just like this, and then remove the hard drive. So this is the hard drive of the laptop. So in case you want to replace the hard drive, you can always just replace it through this method and put this aside. So once you are done, we can always proceed. So we have to also remove the this right here is the wireless card, so we need to also disconnect it off the motherboard and then remove it gently. So we start by disconnecting it with these 2 connection points. Then after disconnecting it, it has 2 double screws. It has 2 screws that we need to first remove. There is screw number 1 and screw number 2. So you have to be keen with the labels. There is label 1 and label 2 on the card. When connecting, you have to connect back these to the same connection points, which is 1 corresponding with 1 and 2 corresponding with 2 in numbering. So let's proceed by removing, or rather disconnecting the wireless card. This is the wireless card. we can put it aside as well. So once we are done, there are 2 screws for the keyboard in case you want to replace the keyboard. These are the main focal screws that we need to get rid of, or rather unscrew first. So let's get this unscrewed. These 2 for the keyboard also unscrewed. Put them aside. Keyboard. So once we are done with that, we still have this screw, and now we are doing overall disassembling by first getting off the screws of the laptop. Not forgetting we're using a Phillips screwdriver. So we've removed this. We check and see if there is any other screw that we need to get off, or rather disconnect. Then there are these M2.5 by 6 screws that we also need to get rid of. So there are 2 here, so we can just get them off as well. And when doing a disassembling, make sure that you put all the screw sizes in the same, classified in the same location and same size. So for the 2x2, 2.5 by 6, I can put them here separately so that it doesn't confuse when you are reassembling the laptop. So once we are done, this side, I think we don't have any left. Then we need to focus on the outer side of the screws. So let's focus on this side. Let's focus on this side. This side, they have we have M2 by 3. Here we had M2.5 by 6. Here we have M2 by 3. So we need to first remove this smaller size of M2 by 3. So we start. So this M2 by 3, we put them also aside. Then proceed. We need to remove this to have access to the screw which is inside there. Let's proceed by unscrewing this. Put it down. Let's go with this as well. Then to this as well. So once we are done, we go to this other section where the battery is and see how we can remove. Here we have smaller sizes. We have 2.5. We have 2.5 by 3, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have to remove these, unscrew these 5 screws, which are of 2.5 by 3. So let's proceed by remove the first one. Unscrew the second one, and then the third one. Then we go on the upper side to remove the fourth one and the fifth one here. We also put them separately, the screws that we have removed. So once we are done with this, we need to first remove this CD-ROM, or rather DVD player, CD-DVD stroke DVD player, which is this, and it's removed. So once we remove that, we know that we have another set of screws, which is a 2.5 by 3, which are 2. So we need to get rid of them as well. We can remove them by unscrewing them off. So the 2.5 by 3, we remove them as well. They are 2. So once we are done with removing all this other side, we flip the laptop. Confirm that we don't have any screw left. And once we confirm to that we don't have any screw left, we flip turn the laptop. Then open it gently. Since we have a broken hinge, we need to open it gently, just like this. So once we are done, we need to first remove the keyboard. So removing the keyboard, we need to first slide it backwards, the front side, and then flip open it gently, just like this. Flip open and remove the connector, or rather disconnect from the frame. So this is our keyboard. In case you want to remove the keyboard, that is the procedure you can do. Put it aside. And after removing the keyboard, we still have 2.5 by 6 screws, which are here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws of M2.5 by 6 that we need to unscrew, or rather remove. So we start with this one. Followed by this one, followed by this one, and the fourth one. So once we are done removing the screws, we need to now start disconnecting all the connection points connecting onto the motherboard. And let's start by disconnecting this connector here of the motherboard. Then also disconnect this. First unlock, then open, disconnect that. Then also disconnect this. First unlock, then disconnect. Then the third one, we have this also that we need to disconnect. Open and disconnect. Then we have this one as well, also unlock and disconnect. You have to be gentle and careful while opening that. So once we are done, we can now start opening
You have to remove it gently. Oops, I guess we missed out a screw. We missed out a screwdriver. We missed out a screw here. So you have to be keen. You have to be keen when unscrewing this. So we missed out a screw here. And here. So you have to be keen on while unscrewing this thing. Oops. Thought you would remind me also, but you didn't. So let's move on. Oh. Okay, back to our there is another one missed here. You have to be careful when unscrewing this. So here we are. This is our laptop that we need to work on the hinges. It's quite dusty, and you can clean it up here using so these are we have two hinges here that connect to the frame, and then later on connect to the motherboard. But we need to get rid of, we need to first remove the screen, and this is how we do that. So we have, we need to first, we have to first disconnect off the screen from the motherboard, and this is how we get it off. Just unlock the connector, then gently remove the connector, the VGA connector of the screen. So once that is done, we can start now to unscrew the hinges, or rather the locks. You can start with this. Put it aside with this. Put it aside. That is hinge number 1. Then we go to this other side and also disconnect the hinge. So once we are done, we can just remove it gently. We can just remove it off gently. It also has the lock. Oh, there is another connector here that we need to remove gently. And if you turn it this side, it's the one that connects the wireless card. So we get this out also, this hinge out, but it's not moving because it has a screw which is which refuse to get off. So we need to first remove it manually. So this one refuses to come out. It's rolling, but it's just off completely. So we need to get the pliers. We need to use this pliers to hold it as we unscrew. So with me here I have two screens with their screen holders. I have this one which is already broken, having broken hinges and a bit messed up, and I'm going to replace it with this fairly new one with already fixed hinges, and this is the one. So in the reassembly process, we need to first realign these cable wires of the Wi-Fi, rather the antenna, and then also so in the reassembly process, we need to first realign these antenna cables to the pathways, and also this VGA onto the motherboard and through their pathway. So we need to first put back the VG. We need to first put back connect back the hinge back into its position. Just like that, and ensure that we pass the cables through their pathways. Same applies this side. So we'll put back the screw. First put back the second screw here. Then the second screw, and also put this one, no, not here, not this one, then tighten the screw, tighten this one also, and tighten this. So we have ourselves. We need to turn these antenna cables also into the first way, so we can just squeeze them through here and then have them connected through their pathway here. That is one, and also connect the second one into its pathway here. Now that we know that the cables have been able to reach, we proceed with our connection. So we connect the VGA connector into its connection port and put it back here, just like that. So once we are done with that, on confirming that everything is connected very well, on confirming that everything is connected very well, we then proceed to put the cover. We then proceed to put the cover, which is this one. This is the cover that we need to put back gently. And this one has, if I'm to run you through this cover, it's the one that has the speakers. So in case you want to replace the speakers, this is how you can use. You can just remove them off here, and then here they have the touchpad. It has the mouse touchpad connector, which is this one, and then here it has the SD connection. That is for the memory card connection, which also connects directly to the motherboard. And then here we have the other connection ports, the USB. Before you put back this cover, you have to first connect back this USB connection point into its connection point. Rather, you have to first connect back this connector, USB connector, into its connection point, and then put back the cover. So let's start by reconnecting back this USB connection port directly, and then close it. So once we are done, then we can put systematically and gently put back this cover into its sitting position, and then lock it gently, press it gently so that the locks can be tightly firm. So once that is done, we then connect these other connection ports back into their ports. Connect this one and also connect this one, the second one. connect that back. Then connect this one back to push it in and then connect. Then we have this other connection port that we need to also put back into place. This one here. So once we are done, we can now put back our screws. And here we need the 2x 2.5 by 6. What's this? Then we get the keyboard back. That is done. We close it up and turn onto the side. Then we get our CD-ROM, put it back. Gently. We get our wireless card, put it back, connect it back with its connecting screws. Once connecting back the antenna connectors, number one, they have labels. Number one goes to number one, corresponds to number one, and then number two also corresponds to number two. Get our two screws. Start connecting back our screws, our external screws. Connect. Don't forget that you're supposed to put some screws below the player. So let's first get out the player and put these two screws, 2.5 by 3 screws, which are two, these ones. So you should always be keen not to forget any screws and put back. So we get, once we are done, we can put back our CD-ROM. Then we need the 5 screws that we need to put here, back here. Then we also go to the inside. The screws for the keyboard. So now you are left with 2 screws here, 2.5. Once we are done, we can now proceed to put back our hard drive. And this is how we can put back the hard drive. With its screws there. Once that is done, we can then proceed to put back our RAM stick. Just like this. And once that is done, we can then get our first cover back. and then we get our other external cover. We lock it, and then get our battery back. And then we can open to check and see whether we have some battery.